Good morning. We are working on counseling techniques. This must be the seventh, I think. That's what it is. We have 4 more weeks to go. We could do this. We want to just talk about the open questions. In a counseling setting, who's going to talk more? That depends on the situations and conditions, but in general, clients gonna talk more because they have to, kind of. Because talking is a way of exploring and expressing, exploring actually their emotions and thinkings and feelings. They wanna just steam up, what they have in there is pretty something in their bodies and minds. So people just bang their chest because they have something in there, and they squeeze their chest because they have something in there bothering them, can't sleep well, can't eat well, they under stress. So the best way must be speak out or shout out, scream out, and so in that way, I think singing is pretty great. You want to just sing out, high pitch, low pitch, with the stories. That's great. If you wanna do that singing, you don't have to worry about it. Don't have to copy or just follow other songs, but you can make your songs. Just sing whatever you want. So basically, talking is steaming up. So who has more, who has more stress? Clients and counselors. Maybe counselors can have more stress, but clients are just paying for the counseling, and then clients are supposed to talk more, especially for the first few sessions, until the counselors can understand what's going on, and then they can find any good solutions and psychotherapies they can apply to the clients. So there are many things that they can talk. So let them talk. But what if they don't know what to say? I don't know what to say, I don't know how to put. That's why I don't think people can express or describe all things happening in there 100%. That doesn't happen at all, because our languages, words are limited. So we don't find any perfect good words to express our feelings and thoughts. Then we cannot express everything. No 100%. But the counselors want to just encourage them to speak more and more. Good enough, long enough, good enough, as much as they can. Then we can collect all the information, not only the story, but also their feelings, and their wants. We want to just write down everything while we are listening to our clients. So listening is very important, but how we can encourage our clients to talk and express what they have. Questions. They don't know what to say, so questioning is guiding them and leading them to say something what they have. Even though they don't know how to cook, we can, by questioning, all kinds of asking those questions, we can just encourage them to say more and more, talk more and more, so that they can just let things out, and let people know, especially the counselors, so the counselors can understand what's going on, their feelings, wants, hardships, plans, and hopes, so counselors can help those people, their clients. So, we have to know what we want to ask them. What kind of questions will be proper to our clients? We want to know all kinds of questions we can use in counseling sessions. So there are kind of treasures of questions we can use for our clients. There are some books filled with lots of questions we can use in our counseling sessions. So those questions are very important examples, and those examples we want to just practice and get used to it, familiar with those questions, so we can use it. Use those questions in our counseling sessions. So when we don't read good enough books, we don't know how to express. So we want to just read. That's kind of our assets. We want to, because certain situations we don't know how to ask, what to ask. Then your clients don't know how to express, and you don't know how to express. So rephrasing, that is another thing you want to take care of later on. What if they don't know how to express? Then you want to help your clients to express their feelings right, properly. More, it is touching their hearts and thoughts. So rephrasing, restatement, or summarizing, those are very important. So when they don't use the proper words, when you restate or summarize, and then you can use those particular words, then they can understand, oh, that's what I wanted to say, and that's really expressing my feelings and thoughts. So those things are very crucial in our counseling sessions, so we can encourage people to talk more and more. So those things are very, very important and crucial. So what about the questions we want to work on? And that's open questions. So open questions. Okay. Then is what the open questions means. Okay. So before that, we want to take care of the process of the interview shortly. So how we can interview people, the process of the interview. So and then we're gonna touch this lightly, and then get into the asking questions. Okay. Step one: making a connection. The first portion of the interview should be focused on building rapport. I already mentioned about the rapport some times ago. Rapport means the relationship, kind of relationship counselors and clients. Okay, kind of building trust and making a good relationship. So it is making a good environment. People can talk to counselors, such as demographics, record your patients, such as demographics, history, and the reasons counseling is sought, their backgrounds. So you want to understand their backgrounds, cultural history, and if that is the first counseling for their in their lives, or second or third, or what if they got the kind of counseling from the psychologist or psychiatrist, those things. And questions should be open-ended and aim to give each session a specific purpose. What brings you to counseling? What would you like to focus on in today's session? What can we do today that will help you move forward? Those things are the very first steps we want to take. So in the first step, we want to ask those questions. So we want to know what's going on. So it's kind of making a framework and the plan we can, when we want to just help our clients. Okay. Bugs are flying here, so I don't know. Thankfully, that's not mosquitoes though. Okay. All right. So, step 2: identify individual strengths and goals. During this step, the focus is on getting a patient to recognize their strengths. For what? And acknowledge them through self-affirmation to set the stage. Counselors can ask patients questions that help to draw out their inner strengths, such as where do you think your strengths are? And tell me about a time when you felt good about something you did. By asking those questions, we can just know their strengths. So because we want to use their strengths, they cannot recover from the vulnerable situations or escape from their hardships, not by their weakness, but by their strengths. So we want to know what their strengths are. So we want to just use their strengths, to escape from or solve their problems or escape from their hardships. In that sense, we really want to know their strengths, because strengths is important. People want to focusing on fixing their weakness, but we'd rather to use their strengths to overcome their hardships. Okay, because fixing weaknesses, it takes a time, but we have strengths already. Why don't we use our strengths to taking care of our problems and hardships? We can do it, and then it is a good idea to use, because when we are very comfortable when we use our strengths rather than use weakness. Because weakness, when we want to use our weakness, we can be intimidated, because we know that we are not good at something, and we need something, because Because it's the same thing, you use your right hands to, kind of what to say. When you use when you eat, you use right hands, then what if you use your left hand when you eat? You're gonna spill lots of things, and you feel, you're gonna be stressful because you know that you're not good at it on your left hand. Okay? So, using a left hand is not pleasant. Hi, good morning, come in. Pleasant, and you know that it is not easy at all to use your left hand, and you know that you're gonna spill lots of food because you are righty, not lefty. Okay. It's the same thing, You have strengths like you can organize and write down good things, and then why don't you use writings instead of speaking too much? Writings, and then you can read it again and again for solving your problems. You can express way better when you write than speak. Then counselors can encourage their clients to write down what they feel instead of just pushing them to talk more and more, because that's vulnerable. Then like so we can just see what strengths they have and they can use for their problems and hardships. So when we use our right hands, we know we can get jobs done better than using the left hand. So it's about the same. So we want to use our strengths, okay? And then goals. We all have goals, so they are paying lots of money for counseling, and because they are expecting something good. Some people are just paying little. They want to just pay little. But in general, we want to pay less and get most. That's what all people want to do. Okay. But when we all also know that we pay more, when we pay most, we expect the best stuff, okay? That's why people want to just buy, the best product, so they can be satisfied with that. We all know that when we pay more, we can get better things. But why people want to just pay less for their counseling? That's for themselves, because they don't know what the values of the counselings. Okay. Well, when they when they don't have good enough money for that, maybe we can have some programs to help them out. But basically, that's what people do, And then their hope is pretty important because they are expecting something. Well, I don't think counselors can satisfy our clients whatever they expect, but we can do our best. But what they are expecting can be wrong, or little, or too high, too much. So it depends on what they have, what they are hoping. Then we can just work with them and try to meet their needs and hope. The last step is for you and the patient to make an actionable plan to help them change their behavior. But it's pretty tough because changing behavior is pretty tough, you know. This is the final part of the session. In this final part of the session, you and the patient will work together, come up with a plan of action. Okay. All right. Then those are counseling process, and then in the counseling process, how open questions are important. Okay. Then let's talk about the open questions and the definition. It's pretty simple, but let's get into it. A questioning process to assist the client in clarifying or exploring thoughts or feelings. Counselor is not questioning specific information and not purposefully limiting the nature of the response to only a yes or no or very brief answer. Well, the goal is to facilitate exploration. So open questions for, you know, that's to facilitate exploration. Just let clients can answer whatever they have in their mind and thoughts. Now, maybe if the client is already doing this, okay. B, have an intention or therapeutic purpose for every question you ask. Intention, the therapeutic purpose, because you want to know what really you want to know for your clients. So the questions are not just, you know, what did you eat, or, you know, what did you drink. It's not about it, but purposely and intentionally we want to ask questions. So for that, we want to use open questions rather than closed questions. And C, avoid asking too many questions or assuming an interrogatory role. When we ask questions, because counseling time is limited, like 60 minutes per session, we don't want to waste our time. We don't want to waste our clients' time. So when we ask questions, we don't want to waste our time, but maximize the limited time. So we want to choose intentionally, purposefully for our clients. So those questions, especially open questions, we want to use is for therapy, not for, you know, casual talk or something. Well, we need the casual talk and casual questions when we want to build our rapport, and sometimes we want to just take a break during the, you know, or just change our topics. We can do it, but in general, we want to just focus on the therapy. So we don't want to just ask too much questions, too many questions. The best approach is to follow a response to an open-ended question with a paraphrase or reflection, which encourages the client to share more and avoids repetitive patterns of question, answer, etc. When we don't use open-ended questions, but closed questions, it's gonna be hard for. It's not hard, but it is less meaningful when we rephrase and reinstate and paraphrase our client's words. Yes or no, and then what are you gonna say? There's nothing to rephrase or reinstate and paraphrase. So we want to just use our open-ended questions. Okay. And what about, there are two samples. Which one is open-ended and closed? Do you have a good relationship with your parents? Then what answers you can expect from your client? Yes or no. Or at most, yes, I have a good relationship with my parents. No, I don't have a good relationship with my parents. That's the most answer you can expect. Then what are you gonna say? You're gonna rephrase and paraphrase. Nothing to rephrase or paraphrase, but the most, the best thing you can do must be, oh, you don't have a good relationship with your parents. Oh, you have a good relationship with your parents. So what? And then it's gonna be kind of not natural or smooth when you just move on or dig into more things about the relationship or something. But what about the second one? So the first one is closed questions. People can answer with yes and or no. Okay. The second one must be open-ended question. Open question. I mean, tell me about your relationship with your parents. Then your clients are not supposed to answer with yes or no, because it's not right answer. So they're gonna just talk about the relationship with their parents. Well, I don't have a good relationship with my parents. Then what makes you think? You are saying yes or no, no. And then your next question must be, tell me about the bad relationship with your parents, and why do you think you don't have a good relationship with your parents? And then you can, your clients can answer to those questions, one by one, and they can talk more and more, and you can understand more and more. And then in the meantime, you can rephrase and paraphrase. Oh, you think you don't have a good relationship with your parents, and can you please tell me about any good relationship with your parents, and then bad relationship with your parents? Can you just give me some examples? What makes you think that you don't have good relationship with your parents, or good, bad relationship or good relationship with your parents? And then they can talk about it, little by little. And then we can keep talking, and we can have our clients keep talking, and then more in detail, more specifically, because we are encouraging our clients to talk more and more with open questions. The material covered is identical, but it's asking about the relationship with your parents, but the answers will be likely be very different. The first question is closed-ended question, or closed questions. The expected reply is yes or no. If a therapist asks that question and gets one of those answers, the ball is back in the therapist's court to encourage a fuller response with a closed-ended question. A client may choose to say more, but often they do not. Okay. After closed questions, and then after open questions, you want to use another open question, so people can understand and talk more about what's really going on, right? Okay, and there are questions we can use: how, what, when, where, why, or those things. Those are very typical questions, but there are something we can think about. Okay, how questions, like the how questions, enable patients to talk about their feelings. Not all the time, not limited to that only, but we can just think about it in general. How does this particular situation make you feel? How does this particular, how does your answer, bad relationship, how does your bad relationship with your parents make you feel? How did this experience shape your current perspective? Not all counselors are good at open questions and asking questions. So we want to just collect all kinds of questions as much as we can. Even the same questions, but different ways, different expressions, and different words. We want to collect those questions also, because we don't want to repeat the same questions again and again for an hour, for 10 sessions. How did you feel? How did you feel? How did you feel? Well, it makes clients boring, and their answers can be limited by your question. How did you feel? So how did you feel? And what made you feel that way? Or how, what was your feeling when you saw that kind of things? So we want to ask the same questions in different ways, because when we just talk about, talk with people on the street, please, pardon, excuse me, sorry, and so those things, those words can make other parties can repeat what they said again and again. So we don't want to just repeat sorry, or pardon, excuse me. But we want to mix those things. Pardon, excuse me. Please say it again. Sorry. So it's about the same. We want to use different expressions when we ask the same questions, because we're going to ask the same questions again and again in a session or in 10 sessions until we finish our counselings. And next one is what questions help you get specific facts surrounding a situation that is shaped to your patient's perspective. What happened there? What happened here? What role did you play in this situation? What role did your parents play in this situation? Okay, what questions help you get specific things? So same thing, you want to develop, all kinds of different expressions for one question, one meaning of questions, but we want to use what questions? What did you think? What was your role in that situation? Okay, what, and you can get more information by asking what questions for more detailed explanations they have in their mind and ours. Okay. And what about when questions? When questions are centered around the timing when a situation or event occurred, when did this happen? When questions are centered around the timing, we all know it, right? When did this happen? Okay, when that happened. Okay. So when your parents just beat you, something like that, what time? Okay. So what years of what was your age at the time? Those things can be the same, but we don't have to limit it to when for asking the year, specific year or date. We can use what? What was your age at the time? Okay, right? And what was your parents' age at the time? What year was it? Okay, or when that happened. Where questions give specific information about the environment or place the event took place. Like where did this situation occur? Where did most of these difficult events happen? Well, those are very basic, and you can use those things in general, so people can think about the time and day and year, so people can answer to your question those things. So where questions for the place, where that happened at, okay, where you were when that happened, where were your parents that happened that was happening to you. So where questions is kind of important because we want to see where those things have happened. Beating, kind of, your clients got beaten by his or her parents in home, in their room or in their parents' room, on the street, in a public area or something like that. Those are very important, so you want to just figure that out where. So we can use the where questions a lot. But what about the why questions? Why questions focus on the reasons leading up to the event or any information related to it. So why did you react that way? Why did you react that way? And why did the accident happen at this particular time? Why that happened on the street? Why that happened in your room? Why that happened when you were young, like 10 years old? Okay. Why that is happening again and again still now? And why questions are focusing on the reasons and what beat you at that time? Why your parents left your home, or why did your parents left you in an orphanage or something, or why did your parents abandon you, and why did you not follow your parents at the time? Why did you so rebellious to your parents at the time? Those questions are very crucial, so we can utilize all kinds of questions starting with how, when, where, who, those why, those and what, we can utilize those questions basically. Okay, so there is a typo, open questions in the first session, sorry, not first session. Okay, first session, because we want to just collect information as much as we can for the first session, not only from the first session, but the first session we are exchanging, not exchanging, but having most information from our clients so we can understand their needs, their hope, their wants and their expectations, their situations, their hardships, their pain, their emotions and all kinds of situations. So we want to collect all kinds of information. So we want to ask a bunch of questions for those things. All right, well, there can be, close questions. How old are you? Where do you live at, or those questions are close questions we can use. We don't have to use open questions. Only open questions. We can use closed questions, but we can get more benefits when we ask open questions. How old are you? And then they're gonna ask they're gonna answer your age, like 20, 25, 30, or something like that. And then after that, you can use open questions. Why did you come? Or what made you come to the counseling sessions, counseling centers? So what makes you feel hard in your life? What is the most thing you can struggle with and at this point, or something like that? All right, so open questions. When we use open-ended questions in our first therapy session, we are allowing our clients to lead the conversation by including information that they feel is relevant to their experience. This allows us to gain a better understanding of our clients and work to develop the therapeutic alliance. So, open questions. Are you feeling good? And they're gonna answer yes or no. But we can ask, how do you feel today? And it's good, very nice. And what makes you, feel good today? And then that's open questions, and your clients can say, "Cause finally I'm here for the therapy or counseling. I hesitated for a while, and what made you hesitate the counselings for a while? And then, so what do you expect from these counseling sessions? And how'd you like this counseling room? Is it comfortable for you? So are you feeling comfortable, or you are frustrated? What did you feel?" And then they're gonna answer and keep on going. So with a bunch of questions, we can get closer to their mind and thoughts, so we can understand more and deeply, so we can figure out how we can help those clients well. At the conclusion of our first session, you may feel that it is important to sign additional consents of release. If you learn of other healthcare professionals that your client is working with, or important social supports that your client would like to involve in their treatment. So networking, we want to work with our communities. So for your clients, counseling can be this much. And what about their families? What about the social workers? And what about the healthcare specialists, like doctors and nurses? What about, social work has lots of things for supporting their housing and facilities they need, money they can use for a while. example, for the better, I mean, victims from DV, domestic violence, for example, your society or cities or social workers can help you out to have your transit costs like bus or subway or trains. If you really need that, they can provide you plane tickets. Depends on the situations. Not for having vacation in Hawaii, but solving the problems in other states, something like that, and then your social worker can provide you, especially for example, for DV victims, domestic violence victims, your social workers can provide the money for expense. What about the shelter? What about the money you can use for food? So food stamps, and California has Car Fresh. Car Fresh means kind of supporting the vulnerable people or low-income people, that they can have free food because they have to survive. So those things can come from your social workers. So then that's what you don't want to provide, because that's not what you can do. Counselors, you do provide counselings, okay? If they cannot afford to the counselings because it takes lots of money, and you can work with your city or county or federal government, so you can get the money for helping your clients with counselings. So you can get money from your city or county or government, so you can get the support from that. Because you can't provide the free counselings always, then how are you gonna buy your food for yourself, families? So social workers and those and other counselors who specialize in a certain area, then your clients need, and then you can refer your client to the other counselors so that they can get the better counseling services. And those things are very important. That's also called networking. What about the health cares? You can get the kind of a medical record your client has, because you want to understand that. If you can understand that, don't worry about it. You can just talk with your clients, doctors, and medical record holders, so you can ask questions. So if you don't understand your client's medical condition, you're gonna miss lots of things, and you can mislead your clients in the counseling sessions. So those things are what you wanna equip and know. So the numbers and websites you can work with, that's networking. All right. So how we can get the ideas we need to work with those other parties or things, then so just remember what you can get, what you can have for your clients, not for you, but for your clients. So those things are very crucial, and just keep in your mind that you want to know your local and your community's network. For that, if you only know their websites and telephone numbers, you're gonna miss a lot of things. So if you can do it, you wanna just visit those people or organizations and offices, and then you can understand what's going on. Whether you can trust them or not, you have to figure that out. Don't be lazy to building good solid network for your clients, or you're gonna just mislead your clients, and they cannot get good enough help from your community workers, and then that is no good idea to refer your clients to those people and organizations. But you don't have to contact, you don't have to visit the healthcare providers because they have all kinds of information already, and you can request those things from the medical record holders. But you want to have consent form from your clients so you can access to the data that their healthcare providers have for your clients. Or they're not going to give you anything you need. You may find it appropriate to complete a mental health crisis plan if you have concerns about your client's safety. So you can I just help some people to go shelters because of the domestic violences and things are happening. I just help some people to divorce, and we can get lots of free lawyers services for divorcing when they are victims of domestic violence, because there are non-profit organizations to help those victims, not only the domestic violence victims, but also many victims. One thing we want to know is that lots of victims, whether they are victims of, by domestic violence or any other violence or any fraud or something like that, U.S. governments don't deport those people. U.S. governments don't deport the victims. We can deport the batterers or put those batterers in the prison, but we don't deport those victims ever. So when a person got victimized by her husband or his wife, 10% of domestic violence victims are male. It can be more, because there are very strong, healthy, aggressive women in this world, so it can be happened. I'm not kidding, because when I got trained by for the domestic violence, one of the presenters was male, but he was he was a gay, but he was wearing women attires and makeups, but doesn't matter. But anyways, so victims, any fraud or domestic violence or any terrors or something, then U.S. governments keep those people safe in the USA. Okay, the government can provide those people the shelters, food, and the medical, services, and law services, attorney services, and even provide those victims the green cards, so that they can just stay in the United States if they want permanently. So lots of victims are thinking that they can be deported because their batterers usually just threaten them and give them misinformation that they're going to deport when they report that to the police, but it doesn't happen in the United States. We keep them and help them and care them. So that's the thing we want to just know also. Okay. Crisis plans can be viewed as a tool that clients can use when they find themselves experiencing a significant level of distress. With specific details in the plan, your client can have a step-by-step guide of what to do if they are experiencing safety concerns. Well, that's you can send your clients to shelters if they need any safety place. They can be protected by their veterans. But at the same time, your clients can stay at their homes and houses, but have police departments to kick the veteran out of their house and change all the locks. And your victims can leave the house, okay, and stay at the house, but kick the veterans out. And the police department has that kind of services. Okay. They're gonna check you often, and once their veterans can show up in a certain distance, like 1,000 yards, 1,000 feet or something, your clients can report or call the police department, and they're gonna come and just get you the veterans. It is very simple, but if that is too aggressive and cruel, most victims feel not safe when they stay at their houses anyways. So they want to leave their houses for a while at least. So then we better just work with the shelters. So we can send our clients to shelters. Okay. Lastly, the information that you gather in your first session should allow you to begin formulating a treatment plan with your client. There may be areas of your assessment that need to be revisited the following session. However, you should have a better understanding of their primary mental health concern, including your client in the development of their treatment plan is an example of collaboration within the therapeutic relationship. So today we just took care of open questions. In our counseling sessions, we are supposed to ask lots of questions, but we want to use open questions, open-ended questions, so our clients can answer freely, so we can just get more information from our clients, smoothly, and then they can steam out more, their feelings and thoughts, so that they can be freed from, certain ties or dragging their feelings and thoughts and kind of so making their humanity or the rights, human rights down, or just making our clients frustrated and have more pain. So open questions are that important, so we want to get used to it. Okay. So I just showed some samples, and just to keep that in your mind, and just try to collect all kinds of questions. So try to practice asking the same questions with different expressions. Okay? And collect those all questions and categorize those questions. So when you want to just use certain questions, you can just choose, the best questions from the pool, the question pool. So you can just help your clients answer to your questions freely and simply without any problems. Do you have any questions or comments on open-ended questions? Alright, so is that open-ended questions or closed questions? When I ask, do you have any comments or questions? Is it open questions or closed questions?
What do you mean, open question?
Yeah, if you can answer yes or no, that is, you ask closed question. Okay, but if you have to express or describe something, not by yes or no, then you ask open-ended questions. Open means your other parties can answer with some descriptions.
Oh.